It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry, we're just laughing.
We do that.
I travel a lot, and I rent vehicles, and I was just telling Eric because I had just saw my phone that you have passed another threshold, and now you get presidential status with one of the rental companies.
Right.
It's like,
does that mean you get a limousine just like the Beast or something? What is it?
they've given me a reward, award for getting more airline miles with the rental car companies that I already have.
Yeah.
And I reached that status by just applying years ago, and you really get nothing for it.
Right. Congratulations.
And the one I like is when it's like, well, now because of this, you don't need to check in. Just go right to the kiosk, and you will give us your license, and that's it. You go right through.
Listen, the car will already be rolling. You just run up to it and jump into it, Dukes of Hazzard style.
That happens about 50% of the time.
That
happens about 50% of the time. The rest of the time, it's like, sorry, the kiosk is closed. Well, then what I got to do?
Yeah, no, I've got the same thing, and it's like, well, then what does all this mean?
What do you mean the kiosk closed? It's 8 p.m. Well, yeah. Well, why? We don't know. So I have to stand in that line that's 3 miles long?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get up there, and it's like all of your information they already have. And it doesn't matter. They still have to go through the whole process again and sit there for 15 minutes. Like, the reason I did all this presidential whatever the hell it is throwing
Do
off
you
the
have
weight.
any idea what my status is, young man?
Yeah, forget about who I am.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am? Do you know what status I have?
I want to talk to a manager. I am the manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course you are.
There is no manager. They are the manager.
I'm the manager. You just get me.
The one I like, this actually happened 3 times ago.
Yeah.
I went there, and I first went down to the kiosk. I go, good, the kiosk is open. So I get in the kiosk, and I've got the reservation on my phone.
Yeah.
I go, sorry, sir, we don't have a reservation. You have to have the reservation. It's in the system. How do you know if it's in the system, sir? It's on my phone!
Right. I have a confirmation code with letters and numbers.
So I had to wait probably 20 minutes in that line. They send me back up. I got to go back up. Yeah, so I go back up, and, of course, I've got to wait because there's even a longer line up there. Those are the people that don't have special status, that just rent a car every once in a while and don't have everything in the system, you know?
Yeah.
Then there should be a different line. There should be at the automobile place, the elite and the clueless.
Yeah. Exactly.
That never rent a car.
Well, it should be like the doctor's clinic. You give them a clipboard with like 19 pages to fill. Here, you just go over there.
Right, exactly.
By baggage claim. And wait for us to call you back.
So
bring that big pen with a feather on top of it back.
So I wait in line another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get to the counter.
Yeah.
And they're, sir, we don't have your reservation. You're not in the system. I have to be in the system. It's on my phone.
Look, I'm holding the system.
Yeah, I've got this is the
and
system.
That's me in it.
I felt like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Sorry,
exactly.
Sir. Sorry, sir. We don't have a compact car for you, but I reserved a compact car. Well, I know you reserved a compact car. Well, if I reserved a compact car, why isn't there a compact car here? Well, because we don't have them, but we can get you. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Apparently, you don't know what a reservation means. Sir, I know what a reservation means. No, you don't. Otherwise, I'd have a car.
Exactly.
You know how to take the reservation. You don't know how to hold the reservation. But what I love about it, especially for some reason, automobile rental companies get away with stuff that nobody else would. Like
Right.
the upgrade thing means absolutely nothing.
Right.
I never get the car that I order, ever.
We put you in a larger vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a minivan. No, thanks. I'll walk.
Well, I actually went one time and they said, we're all out of cars. All we have are trucks and electric vehicles. And I went, well, if you're going to offer me an electric vehicle, just give me a rock when I come here. That's about how
Exactly.
good an electric
Right.
vehicle would be to me.
You got a bicycle?
Why you even offer me that?
I know what to do with a bicycle.
Yeah, no, a bicycle would be more practical.
Yeah, exactly.
What, all of a sudden I have to learn where the charging stations are?
Right.
How do you know how long I'm going to drive or where I'm going to go?
Right.
I ordered this vehicle for there. I mean,
We're going to put you in an EV for the first time ever.
People complain about the airlines.
Yeah.
Oh, the airlines are fine compared to
Right.
compared to renting a vehicle. So,
Right.
I'm up there at the counter. Not down at the kiosk.
Mm.
They have to get a manager. Manager goes through it, probably 15 minutes. Goes, oh, right here. And okay, we've got it. Okay, there it is. There's your reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at me. She said, "They're all young people. They don't know how to run the computer." It was in the system the whole time. They don't know how to run not just one, but the one down at the kiosk and the one up there. There's your reservation.
Wow.
So I'm there, and they go, all right, I got to fill out all the paperwork again. So I'm in that line, and everything probably takes another half hour. So we're at 50 minutes now. And remember, you walk in, show us your license, we give you the key, and you take off.
Wow.
Because I have the special presidential or whatever it is. I don't know
whatever,
the status is.
Mm-hmm.
They say, you need to go back down to the kiosk now to get a key.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you saying I can't hotwire the car?
And that took another 20 minutes.
Wow.
And so when I just got now, you've just got this status for having this many more miles, as if status with an automobile rental company is something that you are economically lusting for.
Right.
Well, this means nothing to this award means nothing to you. Me.
You get all the family together in the living room. Listen, I want to sit everybody down. I have some news to share. I've achieved presidential status. For what? Car rental. You mean that thing you do a few times a year? Yes.
Now Friday was great.
Don't tell your friends because they'll want things from us.
Yeah, Friday was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Friday, they were very busy, but Friday was good. But the worst time is summer. I won't be back till after Labor Day, so it'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything goes to nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm not going to be traveling again until Labor Day week, and post Labor Day week, things start to get better, calm down. People get back into their normal routine. The whole now that back to school is back. It actually, I don't have any kids. I mean, my grandkids are in school, but a couple of them. But I don't. The other ones are dropouts. No, 3 of them have graduated and are in college. But I live in a school zone. I'm 5 houses down from the elementary where 3 of my 4 attended. So you see it all. I mean, for whatever it is, hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the afternoon. If I'm awake so but it's also that routine of going, okay, everybody's where they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Because I think that during the summer, kids should get a job, even in first grade. But it's the travel thing changes drastically because, especially at the beginning of the summer, because a lot of people only travel during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's quite often like they forget how to travel over the last several months since they last went somewhere.
I'll give you another example since you just said that, because it's like the people that don't know that, and I don't know what the rules are now, but you can't carry a 3-liter soda through.
Yeah, right.
And they're always the person in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Then they get angry. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have seen the plane yesterday morning when we came in.
Yeah.
You know how the plane always, it's like, okay, we're waiting for the people to come out to direct us into the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 people got up.
Before you were even at the gate?
And they're opening up, and the flight attendants were screaming
Sit
at
down,
them.
yeah.
And one guy was like fighting back, I'm going to stand here. And it's like, and the flight attendant went up and said, you either pay attention to what I'm saying, or there's going to be a real problem here, and you're not going to want to deal with what the problem is, because it's not anybody in the plane you have to deal with. Right. And the guy was still standing up to him like, don't tell me what to do. And I'm like, no. This is the one place you don't have an argument.
Yeah.
At the kiosk for the rental car, I can have a little bit of an argument. Yeah. But not there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was I couldn't believe it. We're like, whoa. I mean, it was like, okay. I've never seen it to that extent. The plane was about 20 minutes late coming in, so it was like people worried about their connections. But then again, it's the people that don't travel much. All right. I'm going to go from Dallas. I'm going to go from Dallas to Philadelphia through Charlotte, and I'll get in at 9 a.m. and the next flight takes off at 9:15.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then again, the airlines lie. It's their own fault. The airlines are the ones that give you that connection. Maybe not that quick, but I've seen the shortest I've ever seen is 35 minutes.
Yeah,
and they'll say when you make the reservation, watch out. But
right.
It's close, but
yeah,
the airlines today, I'm almost always about half the time, about 20 minutes late.
Now with international flyers, it's it's like understood. It's like because they're not familiar with every airport. Right. They're coming to the U.S. Maybe for the first time or whatever, or they don't come here often. All of a sudden, and then they've got to get their connection. And everything else. And it's like, oh, man, I hate to be in that. And one lady told me they'd been traveling already for like 13 hours, 15 hours, something like that crazy. And they have another several hours. I'm like, no, thanks. Yeah.
No, I like direct nonstop.
That's right.
And that's it for the whole day.
Right.
I don't like connecting anymore.
No.
I used to not mind it. And then when I started to, everywhere I was flying was a direct nonstop, it's like, I don't want anything different from now on.
I know.
Let me, connecting?
Yeah.
What, are you out of your mind?
I don't want to do this again.
I got to wait at the airport?
You don't have to go through security again, but it just seems like, here we go again, off the plane, and then on the plane. And you got to make it on time. Yeah. And it with changes and everything else. No. I prefer direct.
Well, I'm old. I require comfort.
Yeah, exactly.
I require comfort and no hassles.
You guys are going to have to carry me to the next gate. Yeah.
I was wondering the other day because it's like the line of, the people pre-boarding, because they're older.
Yeah.
And they're not in wheelchairs. They're just walking right up. And my tendonitis was affecting me in my ankle. And I went, the thought hit my mind for the first time ever. I could get a wheelchair.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I could board.
Sure.
I could board first every time.
Right.
And all you have to do is if you look at my ankles, I was wearing shorts. You can see in my ankles. One's about 2.5 times the size of the other one from all my sprained ankles on that side.
Right.
So you could look at people when they see it the first time, they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And so the tendonitis was acting up, and I went, look at all these people standing in line. And they're probably younger than I am.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they weren't in wheelchairs. They were standing and walking in. So,
yeah.
And none of them were limping or hurt like I was. I'm a victim.
Yeah. Well,
nobody appreciates me. I'm a victim.
Now that you're old, take advantage of it. I would.
Now, I still have my youth pride.
Right. Exactly.
I will. I'm too stubborn.
I don't need any help.
Get away from me, you young whippersnapper, like I need help from you.
Yeah, exactly.
866-90-RED-EYE
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by Howes Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
Efforts in preventing African swine fever from entering the U.S. and threatening the nation's pork supply.
Our USDA team has worked with state and industry and academic partners to develop this cooperative initiative to establish a health certification program for swine to help prevent the introduction of African swine fever, but also to sort of offer an avenue to maintain trade should we have a disease introduction.
Earned Lydia Carpenter of USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service one of the highest honors presented to federal civil servants. The Samuel J. Heyman Service to America Medal, a SAMI.
The SAMIs do an excellent job highlighting the work that public servants do across various departments and agencies.
Carpenter was joined by 4 Agricultural Research Service scientists as USDA recipients of SAMIs in 2025. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Coming up following the bottom of the hour, we had, if you weren't listening last hour, we were talking about the study that was done, the survey of college students that were asked at Northwestern University and University of Michigan. Have you ever pretended to hold more progressive views than you truly endorse to succeed socially or academically? 88% said yes. And the interesting thing was, it was not all conservatives. Even Democrats and students that call themselves liberal disagreed with their professors and were afraid to say so publicly. And it's fascinating, some of the responses, that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they call it again? Here it is.
Performative.
I forgot about that. The performative.
Yeah, what was it called? Performative something.
I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But they said that the majority aren't conservative.
Yeah.
They're still afraid. A recent survey of the graduating class found that an overwhelming liberal faculty and student body, even liberal Harvard students, found a chilling environment for free expression at the school. And so we'll get to some of the consequences of that coming up following the bottom of the hour, because it really is just fascinating. I just saw the story, too. There's the whole thing about the Kennedy Center. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you think about the Kennedy Center thing? And I said, simple. We don't have the money to be involved in such foolishness.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't care.
Right.
Federal government does not have the money for the arts. I don't care whether it has a liberal bent or a conservative bent. We should be out of the Kennedy Center stuff completely.
Yep.
I'm sorry. We cannot put the debt that we have on future generations anymore. I don't care about the Kennedy Center controversy either way. I don't care. We shouldn't be involved.
Yep.
End of story.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care.
The culture is not going to disappear because the official government, federal government, does not recognize it.
Right.
We don't have the money. End of story. We don't have time for these luxuries when we're putting this debt on future generations.
Yep.
So put a quick end to that one there. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you think about it? Is it good? I go, I don't want the government to be involved in it at all. That's my libertarianism. If the state governments wish to do it, that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
State or whatever, federal government can't afford to do it.
Nope.
If you can't balance your books every year, you don't get involved in it. If the public wants it on a state level, fine. Federal government, get out.
You're listening to Red Eye Radio from the Uniden America Studios.
And he's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. Coming up, a little treat for you, our audio cut of the day. But first, we were chatting about the, as they call it, adaptive learning, which is going on our college campuses today. And this is where a poll was done, Northwestern University, University of Michigan, between 2023 and 2025. And they asked the question, to the students, have you ever pretended to hold more progressive views than you truly endorse to succeed socially or academically? 88% yes. And what they were doing is they write here, the students were not cynical but adaptive. In a campus environment where grades, leadership, and peer belonging often hinge on the fluency in performative morality.
There it
that
is.
Was
Performative morality.
Performative morality.
Wow.
Young adults quickly learn to rehearse what is safe. The result is not conviction, but compliance. And beneath that compliance, something vital is lost. This is from the researchers. That's directly from the report. That's not any conservative publication or us analyzing what it means. Mm-hmm. And then they go on to talk about the fact that the majority of those that hide their views are liberal.
Yeah.
Because these professors are so incredibly radical that even the students that say, hey, we're liberal, they don't buy into? They don't buy into the critical race theory. They don't buy into the identity politics. They don't buy into the radical gender movement today.
Right.
In the latest study, the researchers found 78% of students told us they self-censor. They're all self-centered.
Oh.
Self-censor their beliefs. I'm kidding. Surrounding gender identity. 78%. 72% on politics. 68% on family values. More than 80% they said they had submitted classwork that misrepresented their views in order to align with professors. It's become second nature. Why? Self-preservation. Academic self-preservation. And then the researchers write further, authenticity, once considered a psychological good, has become a social liability. And this fragmentation doesn't end at the classroom. 73% of students reported mistrust in conversations about these values with close friends. Nearly half say they routinely conceal beliefs in intimate relationships for fear of ideological fallout. This is simply not peer pressure. It is identity regulation at scale, and it's being institutionalized. Wow. Universities, this is from the report, from the researchers, often justify these dynamics in the name of inclusion, but inclusion that demands dishonesty is not ensuring psychological safety. It is sanctioning self-abandonment. In attempting to engineer moral unity, higher education has mistaken consensus for growth and compliance for care. It's all BS.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Nobody's paying attention to it. It's all fake. There is no unity. There is no inclusion. There's diversity, and the diversity is we're BSing you. And you and I both had the same mindset. I said it last hour to you, and we never finished the thought because I said, Eric, you're thinking the same thing that I am. Mm-hmm. And we said this a long time ago. Because Democrats practice the victim-oppressor mentality, you keep making the pie bigger.
Yep.
More victims, more oppressors. And then you get to the belief, and that's what you have here at these college campuses. The liberals don't buy the radicalism. The liberals don't buy the radicalism of the faculty. And so what they're doing is, I'm not going to argue with them. I'm just going to lie to them. There's no authenticity. There's no trust. There's no learning. What do you teach? What are you teaching students? To evade because they think you're full of crap.
Right. You're teaching them to abandon their convictions.
Yeah.
Which means if they think that in a college setting, then they start thinking that in an employment setting after college.
Great. Yep.
They start thinking of that in a social setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about how, there were certain women in that one poll that said they would not date anyone if they voted for Trump and all these things. So you start then at that point, you start staying home. You start drinking less alcohol. You start all of what we're seeing in society right now. I'd say a great deal of it has to do with that intimidating factor. The radicals are intimidating. We talked about the Axios story. 9 lawmakers, 8 of whom would not give their identity to Axios, saying that, and these are liberals, that their constituents wanted blood. These are very radical, and they felt so intimidated, 8 of the 9, that they couldn't even give their names, wouldn't give their names. Well, then you look at this setting here where you just, again, these young people in universities, they are, okay, they basically take on, I don't know, another persona. They pretend that they're for this or pretend they're for that. And again, we have to add in the idea, the part of it that says silence is violence. So it's not just enough anymore for you to go, oh, yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. You got to get up and go to the protest. You've got to be active. You've got to be out there. And, there's the other thing, too. Think about that in any given setting. So if they're doing this to avoid some level of punishment, right? Like not making the grade in class, or let's say in an employment setting, being fired, they're doing it to avoid, some kind of damage to them. How many are putting on that persona in order to get something going? I'd really like to have more friends. So maybe I just need to kind of jump in and, take this on and pretend I'm this and in order to get, or maybe get ahead in work, or, gain favor with professors, whatever it might be.
Oh, I got the, come on.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell her that Kamala is the smartest presidential candidate we've ever had,
not get.
Will she sleep with me?
No, she'll think she'll know right away. There's something wrong with you. You got to see. You can't go too far.
Yeah, okay, you have to.
There are limits to this.
But think about this. And I was having this conversation. I told you I met a guy and his wife the other day at the hotel. Farmers from Minnesota, great people, just great people. And he got to the point where he started. He goes, "Well, look, this isn't political." And I went, "It's okay. It can be political. I don't mind.
Sure.
You can go that way." I said, and I told him, I said, "You have to when you do my business." There are some people that couldn't do it when it got. We remember the quote conservative talk show hosts that quit after 2016 because they're like, "Hey, it just got. I had support in the Republican Party." It's like, welcome to the real world.
Right.
What business do you think we're in?
Right.
And so you get to the point. I told him, I said, most people want to run from the fire, and that's what you see from these students.
Yeah.
We want to run towards the fire.
Yeah.
That's what drives us. That's our drug. It really is. We want to run towards the fire and analyze what's going on. Put out the fire, but then analyze what caused the fire.
Oh, breaking it down to me is everything.
Right.
Yeah,
And so, we're arson. We're political arson investigators.
Exactly.
But we want to do it. And there's a great freedom when you don't give a damn what anybody else thinks anymore. There's
it's
a
very
freedom.
liberating.
Right. There's a freedom. There was even a freedom for me because I've told the story. Forget about college. I would have never made it through college.
Yeah.
I've told the story before about being in social studies class in 10th grade. And the Vietnam War was still going on. And a substitute teacher came in, and she said there's no difference between communism and our system of government. And I raised my hand because, yes, I said, you're wrong. In 10th grade.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of the class and sent up to the office for insubordination.
Yeah.
Because I kept, and I was not disrespectful at all. She just said, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, I do know what I'm talking about. And I went through, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad, who explained to me the three branches of government and our constitutional republic and the difference between communism, so I could actually articulate that in 10th grade. And she got so flustered and said, that's insubordination. I said, it's not insubordination. You just talk back. That's insubordination. I'm like, oh, good God. And I'm thinking to myself, playing this mind game, up to the principal's office. Mm-hmm. Well, the principal was one of my dad's lifelong friends.
Well.
And I was never in the principal's office.
Yeah.
I might have tried to get out of homework. I might have tried to cheat once in a while, but I never got sent up to the principal's office. I never got caught cheating. Yeah. But he said, what are you doing here, McNamara? What are you doing here? I said, I got kicked off for insubordination. What did you do? Well, I explained to him, well, we have a substitute teacher for Dr. Marlack today, and I told her, she said there's no difference between communism and our form of government, and I explained to her that it was, and she got angry at me and said that's insubordination and sent me up here, and he shook his head. He goes, only you. Yeah. Sit over there. And the next day I went in, and Dr. Marlack, who was one of my best teachers ever, at the end of class, didn't say a word. At the end of class, McNamara, come up here. And he said, did you really get kicked out of class for debating that there's a difference between a constitutional republic and a communist nation like the Soviet Union? And I went, yeah. He just smiled, biggest smile on his face. He goes, all right, go to the next class. But I would never put up with that. I just wouldn't. I had that, think about it, Eric. I had that sense of freedom, which was definitely instilled in the culture that I grew up in.
Well,
you spoke what you believed.
Well, and a sense of obligation. It doesn't come from defiance. I mean, there is some defiance in it, but the drive really is the obligation to correct it.
Exactly.
You know?
So, yeah, but I can't imagine just being in that situation in my brain where you're afraid and have to try to weave what your answers are and everything to any professor. It would drive me crazy. Mm-hmm. All right, our audio cut of the day. Just play a bit of it. James Comey, FBI director, everything going on. You hear Clapper, Brennan, Comey. These guys could be in trouble. All right, what did Comey have to say about it over the weekend? Here we go. Oh. Is it there? Okay. We're having computer problems again.
All right.
Jeez. Hang on one second here. I think I can correct it real quickly. I know I've been told the formula to correct it.
Yeah.
I believe I have corrected it.
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
Let's try it again. Here we go.
Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my Substack. Last week's cold turns out to have been COVID. Quite a flashback. And Donald Trump is still president and still humiliating America on a national stage, standing next to Vladimir Putin. It's like a dream, a bad dream you can't wake up from. But I don't want to talk about that bad dream this week. I want to talk about a truly inspirational public figure named Taylor Swift. Of course, I watched her podcast interview with the Kelsey brothers. Of course, I watched the whole thing, although on YouTube, Patrice and I got kicked off for the last 15 minutes and finished it on her phone. But I watched it. You see, Taylor Swift and I go way back. I went to my first concert of hers 15 years ago. I've been to a second, and I have helped financially support the attendance of a lot of family members at others. I'm in a family's Swiftie group chat.
We can end there. He continues to go on talking about Taylor Swift for the next 5 minutes.
He's a 13-year-old girl.
I know. But he said, I helped financially support instead of saying, I bought tickets for family members.
Right. I help financially support. So it's right there. That proves it. James Comey is a hero. And by hero, I mean weirdo.
866-90 Red Eye.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
We are Red Eye Radio. I'm Gary McNamara along with Eric Harley. What was the latest there on the Comey thing?
I was thinking that no reasonable prosecutor would go after the restraining order and then enforce this restraining order that Taylor Swift has
against
just
James
put
Comey.
on James Comey.
Now, look, you had mentioned her before,
yeah,
and we know, for example, that you went to a Pink concert, with your daughter one time?
Yeah, I took my daughter to see NSYNC, and Pink opened.
But you're not a Pinko.
But I'm not a Pinko.
Right, you're not a Pinko.
Right.
Make sure we clarify
very
that.
Talented. Pink is very talented.
I may financially support some people to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra this year.
Oh, yes. You're a hero.
Yeah, I'll get some tickets.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.